Hello and welcome to PlumeriaPlay and welcome to our new little setup if you haven't seen it yet. So we have got our fall cozy vibes happening. It's still hot here in Mississippi, but I'm trying to make fall happen. So I'm just embracing all of the spooky and cozy vibes of fall and loving it so far. But today in The Sims, we are building a bakery slash cafe, and it's gonna be a little speed build, but it turns out to be the cutest little plant cafe. So let's hop right into that. So basically I just woke up one day and was like, you want to know what would be fun to build live over on Twitch? A bakery. So I took to Pinterest to find some inspiration, and I actually found a bakery that had my husband's name on it, which is Dante, spelled exactly right and everything. So I was like, well, this would be really fun to take inspiration after. And then after some more digging, we came up with some more inspiration photos that really helped this build take a lot of shape, and I'm actually really pleased with how this one turned out. This lot also ends up being super functional. We end up with a lot of different skill building items and a lot of things for your Sims to do here. So it's a extremely functional community lot, especially if you like multifunctional lots. We're not copying any of the inspirations exactly. We're just kind of using them to get a general vibe and color scheme. So this ends up being very warm, neutral wood tones and lots of greens mixed in. And like I said, I'm pretty pleased with how this turns out, but green is my favorite color. So pretty much anytime I do a green build, I'm usually happy with how it turns out. It takes us a little bit to figure out exactly how we want to do this. I did decide to use the Cozy Bistro windows and doors. I just think they're really good for any kind of cafe or bakery type lots, but I wanted to make sure we mix in that green still to go off of our inspiration photos, and I'm pretty sure we end up with this siding that we've got on there right now. And the brick at the bottom was also a bit of a challenge, but I do feel like we end up finding one that looks pretty nice in the end. I will say, even when I was building this live, I used the words cafe and bakery pretty interchangeably. I'm from a pretty small town, so for us, most of our cafes are bakeries and vice versa. So I know that's not everyone's experience, and a lot of people in the Twitch chat also said that bakeries are bakeries and cafes are cafes, but this one's a bit of a combo lot in that aspect. It is listed as a bakery and is set to be a bakery. We even have a big full kitchen and everything, but I did include some of the coffee making items from Get Together, just so if you wanted to change it into a cafe, you could. I actually struggled with this floor plan for a little while, so I left it in just so you can see that it's not always a linear process in building. We needed to find a way to get upstairs, and I could not figure out where in the world to put these stairs. And I wanted the bakery to be a closed off space. I wanted the only access from the bakery to be through the kitchen. So that was kind of an important part to me, which made it a little bit harder when deciding where to place things. But we do figure it out, as we always do, and I think it looks rather nice. But we have the bakery off to the side instead of in the back, which is how I originally envisioned it, but I think it works out. And we end up with quite a large kitchen, and I really love the actual bakery counter space that we have. I think it looks rather nice. Quick aside though, I think I heard some little paw noises in the last clip, but I do have 3 dogs and 1 cat in the room with me, so if you hear any animal noises, it's just them. I always feel kind of bad to make them leave the room, but it would probably make the video noises better, so let me know if I should take them out of the room or if you're okay with little noises here or there. But here we are setting up our bakery space now. I wanted to include one of the displays, and actually before it's all said and done, we have 2 displays, so I'm pretty happy with that. But now I'm gonna pop on a picture on the screen so you can see what I'm trying to accomplish here. So the thing that we're trying to recreate here is that light that is covered in the greenery that goes over the top of like the cafe bar, and I really liked how this looked. But the struggle is trying to find a light that is long and has like a flat surface that it looks like the plants could hold on to. We do not have a ton of light options in the game that fit that criteria, so we do end up using these. I want to say that those are from the industrial loft kit, but it looks pretty good from the inside if you ask me. There is a bit of a lighting bug on that end plant, and the lighting bug is being caused by the display case, so that's why we end up with 2, because it almost evens out the lighting bug. And where we put those vines up the wall, we're gonna make like a photo spot with an LED light and everything behind it. I wanted this to be a very aesthetic cafe slash bakery, and now we are trying to figure out the floors. I'm gonna show you another image that were the inspiration for the flooring. Oh wait, just kidding. It looks like I actually painted first and we added some more plants, but oh wait, now we're doing the floors. I I jumped around a lot in this build. I'm not gonna lie. We did a lot of different moving around. I'm usually a little more one spot at a time, but not in this build. And you can kind of see the floor starting to go, but we're gonna change it big time. So essentially I wanted a tile floor like this, but I wanted them to be diagonal, whereas right now they're very square and it's just not the right vibe. So we do get quarter tiles and place every single one of them individually. And it was a lot of work and effort, but I think it's worth it. And I really like this tile that we picked because that black tile actually has an undertone of green veining, and I think they are perfect for this cafe, and they are about the closest we could get to our inspiration photo for what we have in The Sims. But this room that we're placing the tile in now is actually what's going to be our kitchen, and it is a huge fully functional kitchen. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I love the way that this tile looks. Like, looking back at it, I love it even more. But we only do it in the main areas, and in the bathroom I think they just get all white tile because I could not be bothered to do it again. But now that we've got the general shape and floor plan of our bakery laid out, we are going to start working on exterior windows. So we kind of placed the ones in the front that we knew we wanted for curb appeal, and now we need to place the ones in the back. And places where I can't put windows, I love to put these trellises from the high school years pack. I think they're so good. And we do have a bathroom here, so we had to be a little picky about that. And then the stair railing clipping strikes again. So my big pretty window in the middle, I just could not place. I could not stand the clipping. I could not figure out what to do or how to make this work. I tried so many different stair railings and none of them worked. And the windows looked silly without something in the middle. It was just too far apart. But if you scooted them closer, then the clipping started again. But we ended up with a really small one, and I think it looks pretty cute there at the top. Also, Apollo decided to get in his cat cam spot while I was filming the last clip, so I decided to go ahead and put that up there because he's just so cute to me. So he's gonna be there, I think, for the remainder of this speed build because he is looking like he is in pretty big nap mode right now, which is nice because he was being so chaotic just a second ago. It's really hard to film when he's like in my desk cubbies trying to bite my wrist. But let me guys know how you feel about the cat cam. It's something that I've recently gotten, and if he's there, we usually put it there when we live stream, but I haven't really done too much of it on my YouTube videos, which is a new addition, so he hasn't been there a lot when I've filmed my YouTube videos. But let me know if we love or hate the cat cam, if he takes up too much space, or if you'd rather see him hanging out and napping with us while we build. But back to the build for a minute. We are working on our kitchen now, and we had to fit in the big cupcake machine. I know it's not necessary anymore because you can now make cupcakes out of the ovens, but it just felt right for a bakery build to have the cupcake machine. And we ended up using those cabinets from the Jungle Adventure pack. I actually really like those. I feel like they very much fit the aesthetic of our bakery, so I was very happy with that. And you'll have to let me know how you feel about the cabinets clipping with the windows, if that bothers you or not. We end up covering with it some bushes, so you can't really tell, but we decided in chat that it was okay and we were fine with it. But let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Because we have those big windows, there's not a whole lot of room for extra cabinet space on the walls, so we do some other kind of decorating. I kind of struggle to decorate the kitchen. I find there's like a fine line between too much and not enough, but I wanted to get some pots and pans. I just wanted to make it feel like this was a true bakery kitchen. But we do get a cute little shelf as well as some aprons on the wall, and I struggled to pick a tile. I was trying so hard not to use the Home Chef Hustle stuff. I do think it's a great stuff pack, but I feel like I use it all the time, and I use it all the time because I like it, but I had definitely wanted to try to use some other items. But I think we got one from high school years, and now we are upstairs for a little bit. We went back and forth on whether to make this a mini wedding venue or to make it a study spot, but we decided to go with kind of a library study spot situation, and I think it's so cute. We end up with 4 computers and 4 of the research machines, so if you have a student in college or something, I think this is a really good lot to bring them to study and to use those research machines, because those are kind of hard to come by if you don't place slots down yourself. But on the walls we have all of the Book Nook kit bookshelves, as well as the cozy little sofas that come with that pack, and we pretty much line the entire wall with bookshelves, and I think it's so cute. I think it's fun, and I think this is super functional to have in game if you like to come to library lots and cafes at the same time. I feel like those are such a good combo, honestly. But one of my goals for this lot was to make it as useful as possible, so that is why we decided on the this study spot and why we get so many different skill building items and things for your Sims to do while they're here, because we get even more downstairs and outside. So like I said, I love a multifunctional lot in the Sims, so I thought I might as well try to build one. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super comfortable with my ability in building community lots, but I was very pleased with how this one turned out, and people in Twitch were so nice when I was building live, actually telling me that it was good. So thank you guys that were actually over there and hanging out and helping me come up with some fun ideas and whatnot. It's always helpful and fun to bounce ideas off of people. I feel like that's how you end up with really, really good builds. Not to say that you can't build really good by yourself, but some people had ideas that I just wouldn't have thought of that make the build a little bit better than it would have been otherwise. I will say that is one of my favorite things about streaming, is the live feedback and live ideas, actually being able to get help with something that maybe I'm struggling with a little bit. So if you ever want to hang out, like I said, it's linked. I'm gonna stop plugging it. I just really enjoy it a lot, so I kind of feel like I want to talk about it a lot because I love it a lot. But we actually changed the sign behind our cafe to be a menu, which honestly I think fits a lot better. So this is the coffees you can order, plus maybe some cake ideas that you can have as well. I do think the sign was cute, but I think the menu makes a lot more sense. Plus we end up with the neon sign on our vine wall, so I kind of feel like that's probably the name of the bakery there. And apparently I changed my kitchen up a little bit. I kind of forgot that I had done that, but I'm pretty glad I did because I think it looks a little bit better. And in the bathrooms, we kept those super simple. I feel like the bathrooms are kind of not a big deal to me. And then on this wall, we decided to get some signs. I feel like that's the things that the bakery would need to function. It feels a little realistic to me, so I thought that was fun. But now we are heading outside and doing some landscaping. I haven't mentioned it yet, but this lot is actually in the world of Magnolia Promenade, and there is a park right over to the side of this lot. So we are gonna have a little seating area outside, but I wanted it to be a little more closed off. So we're gonna be using these bushes to accomplish that. We are lining the whole lot with these bushes. It takes forever, but I do think that they look so good. And then we're gonna be lining all of our little flower plant spots with these low-lying fences. They are gold and they are perfect. I'm obsessed with them. I think they look so good. I really like the warmth that it adds to the outside of this lot, so I'm pretty pleased with that. And now we're trying to pick a flower color. I was trying so hard not to do a pink and green combo because I feel like I always do pink and green combos, but the Twitch chat told me to, so we ended up with this pretty baby pink and green combo. But I think the baby pink is light enough that it could be debatably white, so it's not like it's a hot pink or anything. But the Taurus in me just loves a pink and green combo, so I'm always happy when the Twitch chat agrees. And now we're finally working on our little outdoor seating area. I think it's so cute. We end up with the cozy bistro tables, but we kind of had a bit of a vote in chat, which is why they were all out like that. But we have the umbrellas up top, so I felt like the cozy bistros down below, it made a lot more sense. Plus a little plaid and the warmth that adds just really matches with the general vibes of the aesthetic of our exterior. So very pleased with that. And now we're kind of thinking about our interior and what that's gonna look like. It was a little hard because it's not exactly a huge space to work with. And I really didn't want to have much of a cluttered energy. I wanted it to have a little space to breathe. And so we've got these couches here at the front where you could sit and drink your coffee if you wanted to, but I envisioned them more as a space to wait for pickup, or maybe if you were waiting on your baked goods, you could sit there and wait. So they're right in front of that bakery counter. And then now we are trying to figure out what to fit here in front. Luckily, the cozy bistro couch fits perfect, so that was very helpful. And we are actually going to be using this neon sign from the Love Struck pack. If you want to get a more specific placement on signs like that, you can delete the wall behind it and then alt place the sign so you can get it exactly where you want it. If we had just placed it on the wall, it would have been hidden behind the greenery there. And now is where we are placing our extra bakery stand, and that helps the lighting glitch balance out just a little bit. I mean, I'd rather no lighting glitch at all, but I wanted the plants bad enough that the lighting glitch just did not bug me that much. So if it bugs you, you can delete those plants. You can maybe try to see if another plant will work for you. But now we are doing some more behind that bakery stand. I wanted to add our coffee makers, so you could have them if you wanted them. And then we also just added some little tea and some baked goods here in this stand right here. The cash register is a necessary part to have a retail store, which is what a bakery is. So that's why that's there between those two stands. Honestly, if you didn't need that, I might would have just left that one empty so it looked more like your sim could take orders. But now we're doing a little bit of cluttering and a little bit of decorating. I was using the little coffee mugs from the Everyday Clutter kit on the table, so just for an extra little touch. And those are not the debug ones, so they won't go bad when you're in live mode and actually playing in the slot. But I think it's nice for the realism that there might have actually been people here drinking coffee. And then of course it's kind of a plant themed cafe, so we had to go in with these cute little plants and put them on every single table. I think it's perfect. And I think that is hands down my favorite plant in the entire game. And now we're going to the back of this lot where we're gonna do a mini park area, I guess you could call it. Well, that's what it started off as at least, but then we realized that there was in fact a park right next door, so it was a little redundant to do another park. But I wanted to add some things along the edges just to make this lot look like it was more a part of the sidewalk and just a little bit more built into the world around it. I think that's actually really helpful for these community type lots. But we started off with a couple of park things, and we got the hopscotch, which we do end up keeping. But then you see that little park back there, we were like, oh wait, nope. And we were like, okay, well, we could do some more seating back here. I was like, okay, maybe a little more seating, but not a ton more seating. So we actually end up with a little seating over to the left, and then someone in chat suggested a sandbox. So we do a custom built sandbox. I think it would be nice for your toddlers because there's stuff for your kids over on the other side. So now we've got a little sandbox. I tried so hard to find some clutter to go in the sandbox that made sense, and the only thing I could find was this debug bucket. And in the chat, I said, bring your own bucket. And so hashtag BYOB turned into a thing. So if you see that down in the comments, that's probably what that means. But at this point, the lot is pretty much done. So let's hop into the game for a quick tour. But we're here in the world of Magnolia Promenade, and I actually built our lot over here on this empty lot in this world. I've actually already got this lot posted over on my gallery, which is PlumeriaPlay, since we did build it live on Twitch. But this is the Leaf and Loaf Bakery, and I apologize, it's certainly not limited pack build. But here is a look at that lot. Place it down. And the name Leaf and Loaf Bakery, you can thank ChatGPT for. Actually, we struggled to name this. I didn't have any good ideas. My chat didn't even have any good ideas. I literally called my husband live on the phone and was like, what do we name this bakery? But we just typed in a quick description on ChatGPT, and Leaf and Loaf is what it gave us. I think it's a perfect name for a bakery that is kind of plant themed. But here is a look at that lot. It is actually right next to this little park over here that also has some bathrooms and some playthings, so that's where your kids can hang out if you wanted to bring them here. Here's a quick little look at the exterior. I really love the color scheme and the way that all of this is shaped together. Out here is where we have that extra seating area. We've got a little sand pit. I don't actually know if your Sims will be able to swing here in this swing set, but I didn't really care. I just liked how it looked here for the vibes, especially since it had all the plants on and around it. We did manage to fit in a little hopscotch area, which I think is so fun whenever that can be fit in nicely. But heading on the inside of the lot, here is what our downstairs is looking like. I love the way the tile floor all came out together. And then here's our little Pinterest wall spot in the back over here. Of course, we've got our little bakery section with our cash register and our menu board and our little clutter here. So I think you could actually change this into a cafe pretty easily if you wanted to. Yes, the only thing that you need is an espresso bar. So if you wanted to change it into a cafe, you could delete these things right here and put an espresso bar and a little counter instead, and then voila, you've swapped lot types. But if you didn't know, bakeries are technically retail lots, so we are going to be switching it back to that. Anyways, we've got some little decorations here in the hallway. This is our bathroom space. It's pretty simple. We just have 2 sinks with these little classic vintage looking mirrors and 3 toilet rooms. Here is our fully functional kitchen plus cupcake machine, which I was pretty pleased with. And then heading upstairs is where we have that cute little study nook. We've got 4 computers plus some extra spaces for homework and whatnot. And then we've got the research machines here in the back. And honestly, we left this space kind of blank. So if you wanted to play with a college student and maybe bring a school project or something here, you could do that as well, because there's plenty of room to put that down. And then we've just got a little bit more seating outside here with some umbrellas on top. And I just think that's very fun and cute and realistic. But that is our fully finished lot. I actually love the way that this one turned out. I love the color scheme and the general vibes and everything about it. But that is on the gallery if you're interested. Let me guys know what you think of this lot in the comments below. And if you'd like to see any more community lots from me, I'm not a huge community lot builder, but maybe I should try to branch out a little bit more because it's quite fun. I think I will be trying to actually use this lot in some of my Let's Plays just because I think it's fun and multifunctional. So very nice to have. If you made it this far in the video, comment our secret emoji down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have the best rest of your day and I will see you in the next one. Bye!